Hello everybody, welcome back to NASCAR Heat 2 in our career mode for the Cops, Cop Motorsports. We're going to start today with a race at Dover. We're going back to Dover, this time in our full season ride. We're sitting 4th place in the Truck Series at the moment. We just signed a new contract, like an incentive contract or whatever this is. The goal is top 10s in all 5 races and to qualify top 10 in 3 of them and to lead a single lap. That seems like a goal that we could do. Top 10 every race is a problem. I seem to like to really push my races, and sometimes it leads me at the back of the pack. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Collar's too tight. I need to be loose. Loose fitting for racing. It's a tense motorsport, this is. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Ben Rhodes doesn't know what he's saying either. Hi YouTube, comment about Harvick's rear windows and how Harvick said, and that whole team was just like, oh, you wanna accuse us of cheating and try to make us look like fools? That's fine. We'll just fix that issue, have a rule placed in place to fix it, and we'll go and win the next race, making it 3 in a row, and putting on another dominant performance. That's what Harvick's team had to say about that. It was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Go to the garage, do our standard adjustments. For some reason, actually there's already a lot of camber in this thing, isn't there? Wouldn't it be amazing if these held over from season to season? Do they? We've had multiple times where we've seen the setup and we're like, hey, that looks like it's already kind of similar to how we would have it. Let me look at the qualifying setup and see if it has tape. By golly, it does. By golly, it does. This game is now Game of the Year. I'm sorry, Wreckfest, you gotta move over. This is Game of the Year, even though neither of these games came out this year. Cool. Very cool. Now I've just added a bunch of camber and more right rear spring for no reason. So watch this thing be loose as all could be. NASCAR Heat 2, Heat of the Year edition. Heat of the Year. There is no other game that has come out this year that had more heat than this game. Alright, Dover. I don't entirely remember what happened last time we were at Dover, but apparently something weird happened where I nearly spun out and barely kept it off the wall. Super hot. Well, now you've just ruined my whole joke. We should do well at Dover because there's cones. There is cones showing us where to go. Dover's a good track. It's not always the best racetrack for, like, close finishes and stuff, but I think it's a very good, unique track that I am very glad it is in the sport and stays prominent in the sport. Yeah, it's a pain. It's a very tough racetrack. It's even a real challenge for real NASCAR drivers because of the concrete surface and like what we talked about last season of it being half inverse banked, meaning that it's dug into the ground as well as being built up. So you dive into the turns. It just makes for a very unique racetrack. Last year's Dover race ending with sadness. You talking about like real Dover or my Dover? okay. Let's... Ouch. I'm watching it. I'm pretty happy with that. Reeled over. Remind me what happened. It's one of the last tracks in NASCAR not owned by ISC or SMI. That's true and one of the saddest parts of current NASCAR racing, I think. We want to go to the pits. Oh, it was a Chase Elliott thing, wasn't it? That's right, where he was like glued to the bottom of the track and he wouldn't change lanes and he lost the race that way. What I've learned from Facebook is that a lot of NASCAR fans only watch to count the empty seats. Yes, that is a reality of NASCAR. I'm gonna move the microphone a little closer. Hold on. The reality is the tracks built themselves up because it was like massively popular, and now that it's lost some popularity and the economy wasn't, you know, very good, and multitude of other factors, now there's empty seats. For some reason, people really like to focus on that. Like, really like to focus on it. It's pretty bizarre. Should I watch Sebring or Goodwood this weekend? Well, I will certainly be watching Sebring as much as I can. Actually, no, I have virtually nothing going on, so I'll be watching pretty much all of Sebring. You say that, one of the things I tried to do in my NASCAR 2003 track making days was make an oval track that was uphill, downhill. So 1 and 2 were uphill and 3 and 4 were downhill. And I kind of went to the extreme with it, like severely uphill and downhill. But it was one of the most fun tracks I made for the game, and it was actually a really fun racing track. It was pretty cool. I don't remember which track it was or what it was called, but it was very late in my track making. Ooh. Well, so much for that top 10 qualifying. But it did not. It was a good track, and it was just very late in my NASCAR 2003 days, but I didn't get to use it much. This is an IRL track, like in real life, with an incline sort. I don't forget what it is. You forgot? How could you forget? Race setup. Again, NASCAR fans are the worst. They can be. But we're also looking at a very small percentage of NASCAR fans. Like, if you take just the Reddit audience, or you take just the Facebook audience, or just the Twitter audience, that is such a minute voice of opinion. You can't just trust that. Okay, well, we did not qualify very well for Dover here, but I think I raced pretty well here, so we're going to give it a try. I'm going to stay sharp, but not like the cheese. I'm not worried about this qualifying goal of ours for 10 top 10s, because I don't think we've qualified that well yet. So I may need to work a little harder on qualifying setups, huh? Maybe do some qualifying practice. This is fine. This is fine. Just gonna wait for the field to kind of stretch out a bit. And I feel like we can start to make moves. I really like the top line here. Yeah, go to the bottom. Do it. Do it. I don't want to go 3 wide. 3 wide at Dover is no good. All right, we might have to go to the bottom. Well, they're starting to single out now. I feel like we're very pinned at the moment. I let off there hoping he would clear. There he goes. There he goes. Alright, now hopefully he takes to the bottom. I kind of had to push him down to the bottom, but he eventually did. Hi. Isn't that one of our rivals? Or one of our close to being rivals? I should have hit him. There we go. See, now we can make some moves. I need you to not be too wide. Small boop. We were making good progress. This is kind of a short stage. Not any shorter than any of the other ones, I suppose, but they go by real fast here. This is a very fast track. The average speed is quite high for a 1 mile track. I'm gonna push him wide a little bit. I think we're gonna clear. Yep, get our top line back. Power down. Go truck, go. Yes. That's where our advantage is, right on corner entry. I feel like we should have a better run out, but we don't. No, don't go too wide. Don't do it. Oh, you jerks. You're messing me up. Alright, remember how I said you should never go 3 wide here? That's why there's not room for it. There's not room for it. And I'm doing it again. No, he singled out. Drive it in there. Okay. Boy, we do not want to lose track position today, I guess. But you can gain a lot of spots, but only if they're single file. A dangerous situation. Look at the 2 wide up there. Okay. Well, we made it up to 20th. Starting on the outside kind of didn't work out for us very well. It is always abrupt and it always spooks me. What is everybody going to do pit strategy-wise? Nobody's pitting. Okay, that's fine. Do this twice more and you're golden. Golden. So I guess we're going to pit on the second break. We have 40 laps remaining. We have 24 laps of fuel. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, we're still in 20th. So basically just a reset here, which is kind of a bummer because now everybody's going to be really too wide again. What can we do on the start? I've been pretty regularly losing positions on the start. My truck just blew up. My truck just blew up. What? 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 What happened? Last race we had the throttle stick wide open. This race it just stopped running. Like my foot was to the floor and it just stopped running. But now... Oh, and I missed the pit stop, didn't I? Now it just went to 0. But now it seems fine. The truck is damaged really bad. What happened? It's out of blinker fluid. Yeah, that was it. I'm confused. Yeah, apparently I need a better team. Team's trying to sabotage me. Yeah, they hit the wall and caused a ton of aero damage. But that was not related to this. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like a failure of my mechanical pedal. I don't think. I would have experienced that in F1 or any of the other series. And I certainly didn't. Now I'm gonna have to drive like a man possessed in that final stage. Maybe random failures are a thing? I don't know. That was very strange. Huh. Well, while we have some time and we can't do anything back here, the talk of the day in the NASCAR world that I saw was about, well, I'll go back a little bit. Danica Patrick was interviewed and basically admitted to knowing nothing about how the race cars worked mechanically or anything like that, setup-wise. It was her statement that basically, I drive the car, that's my job, that's all I do. Kyle Larson said today in an interview that he doesn't really mess with that stuff. He doesn't make setup suggestions, he doesn't do shocks or springs or anything like that. He thinks his job is to drive the car, and you know, it's the team's priority to set up the car and figure out all the mechanical things. And that caused quite a little bit of a, I don't know, not uproar, but it made people like, oh, you shouldn't really say that, it's a really bad image. It makes him look like he just doesn't care. And although I certainly appreciate it, I love seeing drivers, you know, out working on their own cars and stuff. I don't know that it really bothers me. And especially for someone like Larson, who's basically a wheelman. You know, he'll drive anything, and he lives for racing. So it's not like he doesn't love the sport, and that's the way people were trying to make it look, I think. Isn't that most drivers nowadays? I don't know if it's most, but it certainly is a lot of them, because if you're going to make it to the top of racing these days, your whole life is racing, learning how to race. You're spending all of your time as a kid either in school or racing, like traveling to races or doing races. So if you're going to live that kind of lifestyle, then yeah, maybe you don't actually do a lot of the mechanic side of things. Versus that didn't always used to be the case. It used to be the case that if you wanted to get into racing, you built your own car and you went racing. So I don't know. I don't know that it really bothered me as much as it seemed to really bother a lot of people. And I don't want people to, like, look at Larson any worse for not being somebody to, you know, get in there and work on the car and suggest, you know, what kind of springs it needs and stuff like that. I kind of agree with him. Maybe that if you don't know and you weren't, you know, if you weren't studied in those things, maybe don't try to make those suggestions. Leave somebody, a car chief, a crew chief, who is to do those kinds of things. Right, yeah. Well said, Jimps. There's not everybody's going to be Ryan Newman, who is an engineer, and, you know, he actually knows how all that stuff works. And certainly in the beginning of Newman's career, I think it was a big advantage for him, because engineering backgrounds were kind of new to NASCAR, and I think he pushed his team very hard to do that kind of stuff. Also, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Truck, for braking and losing power, because you set up a very fun scenario here. I think you can learn the lingo of how to help your crew set up the car without knowing exactly how the physics of it work, how it mechanically works. All you need to do is relay how it's driving and how it needs to be better, which is what I've heard Danica was very bad at. She really struggled at relaying information as to how the car was driving. She would just say, well, this drives like shit. And then that's it. Well, okay, that doesn't really help us fix it. Versus someone like Newman's probably more like, you know, I think we probably need to go 50 pounds lighter on the spring on the right front. We're getting an aero push because of the gap of the splitter to the turn, and that's just a different perspective. There's members on teams that's their job to figure that stuff out. I mean, there's very, very smart engineers that are car chiefs and crew chiefs in NASCAR. What really bothered me is the general attitude people were taking was it just makes him look like he doesn't care about NASCAR, he doesn't care about racing. I think there's a lot more to it than just knowing how the car works. NASCAR fans are the worst. They commonly portray themselves that way, but like I said, we're seeing a very small percentage of them. I'm starting to think the bottom line's the way to go. Oh, it jumped loose on me there when I hopped to the bottom. Alright, I guess we're going back to the top, huh? It's good if you can get a good drive in, but it's hard to. As with many sports and as with many things, some people are just fans of arguing. Some people are just fans of controversy. So they look for it wherever they can get it. Man, this has been a drive. This truck better not do any weird shenanigans from now on, because I have wheeled this thing. Wheeled it, I say. That moves like that would not help you make friends on the racetrack. For sure. Tactical, you talking about senior or junior? Because senior certainly was a different era of when NASCAR drivers, or race car drivers in general, were mechanically inclined. You think Formula One drivers are going to know exactly what aero tweaks to make to a car these days? I doubt it. I doubt they have any input in that. Nor are they skilled enough to make those kind of calls. Junior, yeah, he's a transitioner. Dangerous drinking positions. I used up my tires a little bit with my charge. Circle time! We've had some good circle battle here so far. Don't drink and drive? I have to. At least of the non-alcoholic variety. The weather and the pollen has had my voice just absolutely wrecked the last 2 weeks or so. Wrecked, I say. This is a high line. Don't go side by side, that's gonna ruin me. Dangerous situation. It's our old buddy Ben Rhodes. I saw what you did there. We need to get in line, maybe? Can't quite do it. So I can drive it in deep, but then get that drive through the center. Oh, he kind of did in there. Told him down to the bottom. You weren't quite clear, but he made it. Drive it in too deep. Still there. Boy, if we could just clear the other truck, it would really benefit us. Or if we could clear Ben Rhodes, that would be even better. But if we could clear one of them, it would really help. Apparently he got a little tired of me. I can't believe I saved it. He really gave us a nudge there. Alright, how many laps? Not many. Let me try and regroup here. I drove into him, says the chat. I want to say he came up. I'm not gonna lie, the wandering in this game, because there's zero force feedback with any movement I just did there. It's pretty hard to control. It's like every vehicle you drive in this game has bad tie rods, so there's zero steering in the middle of the wheel. Driver excuses. We're back in the same situation. That dangerous situation. Last lap. What can we do? This is the closest we've been, I think. I'm gonna try and pin him down to the bottom on entry. Oh, it's gonna be a drag race. It's gonna be a drag race. I think we got it. Nice! A hard-fought 7th place. Yeah, you better give me a 100 speed rating, jerks. 1 to go, brought to you by Credit One Bank. Nice. Nice. Looks like my old Caprice wagon, yeah. Yeah. Good race, good race. Wonder where we could have finished if not for the throttle issue. That's 2 races in a row we've had that. Boop. Well, we darn well better get a hard charger. Darn well. Didn't you make $1 million yet? Not quite. Why is the camera shaking? They're going very slow. Oh, really? Bad point stake. That's because we got no stage points. Down to 10th. But we're in the playoffs regardless, and we have good playoff points. Ouch. Noah Gregson taking the fastest lap. Matt Crafton leading the most laps. On the move! Hard Charger, Cone Dodger. Pew, 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 pew. That was a good one. Good race. Good fun. We got one race completed and one top 10. We gotta try for that qualifying one. It's gonna be tough. Alright, right back into the Truck Series at Texas. I guess I'm gonna try on a qualifying setup there. No angry tweets. We've been pretty clean on the angry tweets lately. That'll do it for this episode, NASCAR Heat 2. Thank you, as always, for watching.